common complaint that I hear from folk who are dissatisfied with society is that they can't do anything to change it. They lament the corporations that are trashing the planet, but they say, well, there's nothing I can do about that. They complain about ICE. They say, well, there's nothing I can do about them. They say Trump is a jerk and is taking our society in a direction that they don't like at all. But they say, well, there's just nothing I can do about it. Yes, there is. What folk don't realize is that the stock market is the primary driver of this cash money society that we live in. So folk like Trump and all his cronies, and by extension, ICE and DHS and Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller and all them fools, they get their power from the stock market, which is the biggest Ponzi scheme in human history. The stock market gets propped up, unbeknownst to most of us, by our retirement accounts. Those of us who participate in 401ks and retirement accounts, our hard-earned wages, usually 10% or more, every month get automatically deposited in our retirement accounts, which in turn we use to purchase what's called mutual funds. Mutual funds are small ownership shares in corporations, usually the 500 to 1,000 most valuable in America. And if just a relatively small percentage of us divested from the stock market, what would happen is that whole house of cards would come crashing down and make room for something new and egalitarian and fair. And for those of y'all who remember the Bernie Madoff scandal, it would be similar to that. Like I ran various scenarios on ChatGPT, but if only about half of working class folk divested from the stock market, it would have that sort of disruptive effect. It would all come crashing down. So it's relatively easy to divest from the stock market. Here's how you do it. For those of you that have retirement accounts, you can access your retirement accounts online, and you pull your money that's currently in mutual funds, which, again, mutual funds is a fancy ass name for corporations that have a legal duty to elevate profit over people and the planet that are trashing our planet. So you take your money out of mutual funds and you put that money in either savings accounts or money market accounts. That's a fancy name for a savings account. And most of these accounts have an interest rate of up to 4%. So that's enough. And again, I'm very sensitive to where folk are coming from, particularly my neighbors here in Minneapolis who are besieged by ICE agents. But y'all, there's something y'all can do. You can divest from the stock market. The reality is, if you are invested in the stock market, you are funding these corporations that allow folk like Trump to control society. And you are invested in corporations that are in bed with entities like ICE. So don't talk about it, y'all. Be about it. Stop ICE. Stop Trump. Make space for the new earth. Divest today. Stay gold.